it's Dale here from Old Southern Kitchen and Garden. And today I wanted to take a moment to explain to you why we container garden. As we've said before, this is our first time ever gardening. We weren't sure we were going to really get into it and if we were going to be successful at it. So we decided for our first time gardening, for a couple of different reasons, those I just mentioned, plus we rent. We don't own our home, and we've been trying to find a place to move into, but if you've dealt with the housing market for the last year or two, you know how horrible that situation is. So for those reasons alone, we decided to go with container gardening, because if we did an in-ground garden or even raised bed gardens, my luck is horrible. I know as soon as I get all that stuff set in the ground or in an in-ground bed, that's when we're going to finally get to move. And I would be so mad if I had to leave it all behind. So we went with container gardens. As you see here in the concrete garden, everything is going to be in pots or crates or tubs. And what I wanted to tell you about, talk about the reasons why you may want to start out container gardening. And a lot of these that deal with container gardening also apply to basically raised bed gardening. There are several different reasons. If you have mobility issues, you may choose to plant not in the ground, meaning in ground or containers. If you have a small space, just a patio, you don't have room for either in-ground gardening or container gardening, so you're going to want to grow your tomatoes in grow bags like this big beautiful thing here, or your other, sage, mint, heck, you can even do garlic in containers. So a lack of space, mobility issues, really not the equipment to do an in-ground bed. There's so many reasons. Or like us, you don't own your home and you're waiting to own your own home. So what I wanted to do mainly for this video, other than just explain to everyone, because it is the number one question I get asked, why? You said you had a garden. Where's the garden? Because a lot of people think old school. A garden has to be something in the ground that's tilled up and all this stuff. But back when we decided last fall that we were going to try gardening, I thought, well, how am I going to do it if I'm not doing it in the ground and I'm not doing raised beds? And y'all know me from all my shorts, shouting out all the deals to y'all. I love a good deal. So I started thinking, milk crates like this right here, I can get for free. If you go to your local coffee shop, grocery store, they are usually giving these away. This is lined with some garden fabric that we bought last fall at the end of the season for literally less than $2 for one of those giant rolls. But if you choose to line the inside with cardboard instead of this, it won't last as long. But between the free crate and free cardboard, you've got your container set, and it costs you no money. But again, I have about 200 of these crates that I collected from coffee shops and grocery stores, and you'll see everything is planted in them. So this is just a way for a frugal person, or again, if you're a beginner gardener and you're not wanting to pump a bunch of money into this because you don't know if you're going to like it or be successful at it, why not start out free? Yes, you can do tubs, you can do grow bags, you can do 5-gallon buckets, you can do pots, but why not go with something that's free just to see if you're going to like it? So I don't know what else I really wanted to discuss with y'all today. Chuck's back there behind the camera. So is there anything that I said I wanted to tell him and I'm blanking out and forgetting, Chuck?
I don't know. As a chef, the way I learned of the container gardening is New York rooftop gardens. Yes. And the restaurants in New York, if they want a garden, the only place they can go is the rooftop. And they do use milk crates or crates they get with deliveries. So it was an amazing way to get a garden that you can get produce that you can use from stuff that's free.
Yes, that was one of the main things I was going to tell y'all, and that's why I asked Chuck, because I, go loony, and stuff sometimes. I believe it was Epic Gardening or Epic Gardener, or however you say the technical name of his channel, that whenever I came up with this idea, or I come up with any idea, I go straight to YouTube to kind of Google my idea, because I know I'm not the first to think of it and somebody else out there has done it. And I believe it was him who went to restaurants in New York City and took you on a tour of their rooftop gardens where they grew everything. Tomatoes in milk crates, they grew onions, their lettuce, all of their stuff they grew in milk crates on the roof of the building in New York. Now, if some fancy chefs in New York can grow their food for their restaurant in a milk crate, then two boys down in Louisiana should be able to take these milk crates and grow us some food too. So, again, if you've never had this idea or never heard of this idea or tried it, give it a try. Again, milk crates are free. Garden fabric is cheap, especially at the end of the season. Cardboard, if you choose to line it with, is free. Now, the only drawback to these, just like grow bags or any kind of containers, is the fact that you're going to have to water more. Down here in this hot weather of Louisiana, we're going to have to water every day. So I went out and got me a bunch of hoses to run way from the front of the property back here to the concrete garden, because I got sick and tired of taking 5-gallon buckets, taking them all the way back here to fill up my rain bucket when it's not raining. So this, just 2 days ago, I went and bought it's over 200 feet of water hose or something. So now watering is much easier. But again, thanks for listening to me ramble, y'all. As always, I'm just trying to tell y'all about deals and cheap stuff. And hey, it's not just me. Those fancy chefs in New York says this works for them. So, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next video.